What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another Android application development series in Android Studio. In this series we are going to build a complete project in Android with the Firebase as a backend from starting to end till generating the signed application so that you can upload it to Play Store or you can share with your friends. We will create a notes application which will have a splash screen till the data loads, login screen with email and password validation, create account screen with email verification. We will design notes detail screen also where all of our notes will be visible. We can add the notes using plus button and save the notes. All the notes will be updated real time, and also we can edit the existing note or delete the existing note. And also we can log out from the application. This is the complete project we are going to build in this series. This is very important project since you will learn a lot of things in this single series like layout designing, input validation, transfer data between activities, recycler view, custom item view, login and create account using Firebase Authentication, integrate Firebase Firestore in the Android app, add, update, delete the data of the Firebase Firestore, and so on. So if you don't want to miss anything, please hit the like button and also the subscribe button. So let's get started with new Android Studio project. I have Android Studio opened over here. I will click on new project. I will select the empty activity since we are going to build from scratch and click on next. I will give the application name as Notes Pro. Give the package name. Select the language as Java since we are doing on Java. Minimum SDK you can select anything. I will select Marshmallow so that 95.6% of devices will support this. So click on finish to create the project. It will take some time to create the project. I will skip this. So our project is created successfully. As you can see here, Gradle sync finished. Now we will test the application by running in the real device. To run the application, you have to select app over here and you have to select the device. Whatever the device is connected, you have to select that and click on run app over here. It will take some time to run the app. So as you can see, our application is launched successfully. So I have this application name Notes Pro and we have this hello world text that is by default. Now let's change the default things, like we have this default primary color. I want to change the color. I don't like this purple one, so I will change the color. And also I don't want this action bar. I will remove it and make it the full screen. So let's change the color first. Go to our project structure. Go to resource, values, colors.xml. So first thing, I will remove all of this purple color. I don't want this to be here. I will add my own color. So to add my own color, I will give color, name, I will give my primary. As a name, you can give any name. And you have to add color code over here. Like this has the color code till 200 has like this, till 700 has this black and white. You can add any color you want for your app. I will add one color that will be like blue color only. So if you want to make it red, you can change the color from here. You can change any color from here, but I like this one, so I am putting this one. Now let's go to themes file and change the color there. So themes.xml and themes.xml night. So first day one, I will remove this color and set my primary as this color. Also the primary variant, I will set my primary. And the status bar color also I will remove and change to my primary. And also I will remove this dark action bar. That action bar I don't want like this one. So I will remove this dark action bar and set to no action bar. Now go to night one. Same thing we have to do. No action bar. Put the color my primary. Here also. And in status bar also. So we are done with the themes changes. We can close the themes files. We can close the colors file. Now let's see strings.xml. Here we have the application name that is Notes Pro. So it is okay. You can change the app name over here if you want to change. I want to be Notes Pro, so I will not do anything over here. Let's close this also. Now let's run it and test it how it is looking now. As you can see, my status bar color has changed and I have removed the action bar. So it is looking already nice. So let's design a splash screen so that it will load the splash screen at first and then we will come to this main activity. So let's go to our package over here where main activity is there. New activity, empty activity. I will give the name splash activity and I will click on finish. So it will generate a splash activity for me. Now let's design this splash screen. I will make simple splash screen. So go to activity splash.xml, click on split over here and change this constant layout to linear layout. We want linear layout, so I will change it. I will set the background color of this splash screen. So I will set the background color. That will be our my primary color we have just added. So this will look like this. I want to add a text over here. So let's add a text view. That will be our app name. So text view width match parent, height will be wrap content. Text I will give Notes Pro. So here it is. You can give your application name. Instead of hard coding the text over here, you can directly refer to strings.xml. So I can say like string app name. So it will come Notes Pro. I will change the text size of this 32 sp. Text color I will change to white and I will set it to center. So it will go to center and I will also make the text style as bold. So our application name is ready. I want one progress bar also. So below this I will add a progress bar which will show our loading screen. I will give the hard coded height and width 24 dp. Small progress bar I want to add. So our progress bar is over here. We want it to be below the Notes Pro, so I will make this linear layout vertical. So it will be here. It is blue so that it is not visible. I'll change the color indeterminate tint to white color so that it will be visible. I want to center these all things, so in linear layout I can give gravity as center. So as you can see it is centered. I want to give some margin over here, 16 dp. Now it is looking nice. So our splash screen is ready. I can go to splash activity.java. So now what we will do is we will run this splash activity for some seconds and then we will go to main activity. So for that I will add the timer over here. So I will create a handler, new handler dot post delayed method we have, where we have to pass runnable interface. So here we have to pass for how much millisecond it should run. So I will give 1000 milliseconds, which means 1 second. So after 1 second, what we want to do? After 1 second, we want to navigate to main activity. So we'll start the activity. We have to create intent splash activity dot this main activity dot class. So it is done. But our app will load the main activity only because we have not changed anything. So we have to set the launcher activity at splash activity. Go to Android manifest over here. So our launcher activity is main activity. So we can change this main activity to splash activity and this splash activity to main activity, so that it will launch the splash activity first and then after 1 second it will go to main activity. So let's run the application and see how it is looking right now. So as you can see, for 1 second splash activity is loaded and then we are navigated to main activity. So let's just see that again. Splash activity and then main activity. But one thing you might have noticed, when I click on back over here, it is again going to splash activity since we have not ended this activity. So after it goes to main activity, we have to finish this splash activity. So it will end the splash activity and start the main activity. Let's restart again. 1 second it is loaded to main activity, and now when I click on back button, it will close the application. So our application is running successfully. We have achieved what we wanted. So that's all for this video. In next video, we will design a create account screen where we will create the account using email address and password. In last video, we set up the project and designed the beautiful splash screen. In this video, we are going to design the create account page so that we can register the user in our application using email and password with the help of Firebase Authentication. So let's get started. So go to your package, right click, new activity. We'll create empty activity and give the name create account activity. Finish. You can close all the tabs over here that are not needed right now. We only need create account XML and create account activity.java. So let's go to activity create account XML. Click on split over here. Now we will start designing the create account page. I will change this to relative layout. First I will add one image over here that will look good. So I have some images. I have these two images over here. I will add for sign up and login. So I will copy this. And in the project drawable folder, I will paste it. Select this V24 and then click OK. So I have this login and sign up PNG. First I will put sign up PNG over here. So let me add image view. Width will be 128 dB. Height also same. Center horizontal true. And I will give the source sign up. So it will look like this. And I will give some margin over here. So margin vertical 32 dB. Now below this I will add a layout where there will be some text. So I will add a linear layout. Width match parent, height wrap content. So inside this linear layout I will set the orientation vertical so that I can add two items. And this linear layout should be below this icon. So I will give the ID for this sign up icon. I will set this linear layout below sign up icon. So it will come here. Now we will add text view, match parent, wrap content. Text will be hello. Text style will be bold. Size I will increase 32 sp and color I will give black. So it will look like this. Also I will add another text below this. So I'll copy this. And this text will be let's get started. I'll increase some size of this. Yes, it is looking good. And also for this overall layout I will give some margin so that margin will be there. So margin vertical I will give 16 dp and margin horizontal also 32 dp. So now it is looking like this. Now we will add edit text for email, password and confirm password. So for that I will take a linear layout. Below this linear layout, width will be match parent, wrap content the height, and it should come below this one. So we have not given ID for this layout. I will give the ID that will be hello text and it should be below hello text. Orientation will be vertical and let's add edit text. So first edit text I will add match parent wrap content. It will be for email. So hint will be email. Text size will be 20 sp. So this is the default edit text which has underline and all. So I want a rounded corner one. I will make a rounded corner background and I will attach that background to it. So let's go to drawable and create a rounded corner XML. So go to drawable, new, drawable resource file. File name will be rounded corner and root element will be shape. So I will give the shape that will be rectangle and I will add the corners where radius will be about 10 dp and I will add a stroke width about 1 dp and color I will give my primary. So we have designed this shape as you can see over here. So I'll go to create account now. In email ID I will add the background as a rounded corner. So as you can see there is rounded corner over here. So I will add some padding for this 16 dp and also margin top I will give about 12 dp so that we have some margin. Also in this layout I will give the margin vertical 32 dp. It is looking very good now. We should give the ID for this email so that we can get this value in Java part. So I will give the ID email edit text. So we have designed the email edit text. I can give also input type, that will be email. Now our email part is done. We can copy this and create for password also. This will be password edit text. Input type will be password, text password, and hint will be password. I will paste same. For confirm password, change the ID to confirm password edit text, text password, confirm password. That's it. Now we have all the three edit text, email ID, password, and confirm password. Now we will have one button which will create the account for us. So let's add a material button below this. Material button, width will be match parent, height will be about 64 dp. Text I will give create account, margin top I will give 12 dp so that it gets some gaps. It automatically took the color from my primary. Padding vertical I will give about 12 dp. I'll increase the text size about 16 sp. Now it is looking good. We have to give the ID create account button. So one more thing we needed is when we click on create account, it will do the API call and it will take some time. Till that time we should show some progress bar. So instead of this button, progress bar will be visible. So let's add that over here. Progress bar width I will give 24 dp. Height I will give same as the button so that it will come in the place of button, 64 dp. ID will be progress bar. Gravity will be center. Margin top 12 dp. So when this create account is not visible, like if create account button visibility is gone, then it will come in the place of that. So we don't want it as gone, we will remove this. In progress bar we will set visibility as gone. So when only the button is clicked, we will set it to visible. Now our form part is done. Now below this we need one button, that is for login if already account is created. So I'll add text over there. So for text view I will add linear layout, match parent, height will be wrap content. It will be below this layout. We have to give the ID to this layout, that will be form layout, and this layout will be below form layout. Orientation will be vertical, gravity will be center. So let's add text view. Width will be wrap content, height will be wrap content, text will be already have an account. One more text view, I want to copy it, paste it, login. So we can give a small space over here. Actually orientation should be horizontal so that it will come side by side, and login one I want to bold it. ID I have to give so that we can set on click on this. So login text view button. So that's it, our create account is ready already. So let's run it and test it how it is looking on our phone. But we have already created the activity, we have not called it from anywhere else. So let's go to splash activity, and instead of main activity we will call this activity create account activity. Now let's run it. After splash it will go to create account. So as you can see, it is looking very nice as expected. So we can input email ID, password also, and confirm password also. So we have not added any on-click listener, so it will not happen anything, but our design is looking very nice. So that's all for this video. In next video we will do the functionality part of this create account. We will take the email, password, and the confirm password. We will validate all of them, and on click of create account button, the account should be created in Firebase Authentication. So in last video we designed the beautiful create account screen that has email ID, password, and confirm password. In this video first we are going to connect our application to the Firebase, and then we will create the functionality for create account. So let's get started. So let's connect the Firebase first. So go to tools over here. You can see the Firebase tools. Click on it. It will open an assistant right over here. And from here we can select any of the features. We have to select the authentication since we are doing the authentication. we have to select authenticate using a custom authentication system. Click on it. Here we have all the steps. First step is connect your app to the Firebase. So I will click on it. So once you click, it will open in the web browser and you have to log in with your Gmail ID. So after logging in, click on add project. Project name will be automatically detected. You can change also. I'll click on continue. Analytics you can enable or disable. You can select an account that will be default account and click on create project. It will take some time to create the project. So as you can see, our project is ready. Click on continue. So it will display the Firebase Android app is created. You can click on connect to connect. So yes, our Android Studio project is connected to Firebase Android app. So you can minimize this and you can see over here it is connected. So now our app is connected to the Firebase. You have to add the features, like what Firebase features you want. For now we want Firebase Authentication. So click on add Firebase Authentication SDK to your app. Accept the changes. It will add all the dependencies that are needed. Accept changes. So our Gradle sync is finished. We are connected to the Firebase and also we have added Firebase Authentication SDK. So you can close this now. Now we have connected to the Firebase. Now we can add the functionality for create account. So let's create the reference for all those edit text and create button. Let's add those. So edit text. We have 3 edit text, that will be email, edit text, password edit text, and confirm password edit text. I am giving full name. You can give small name also. I prefer the readable names. We have a button that is create account button. Also we have a progress bar, and one text view we have, that is our login button, text view. So these all things we needed over here. Now let's link those in onCreate method to that ID. So for linking, email edit text equals to find view by ID r.id. What we have given, email edit text. In the same way for all the fields you have to do password edit text, confirm password edit text, and for the buttons also progress bar, and lastly login button text view. Now we have linked all those with the XML. We can set the on-click listener and validate the data. So let's set on-click listener for create account button first. So create account button dot set on-click listener. You can write like new on-click listener also, but I will prefer lambda, so I will write just a v and give the function that we are creating. So I will create a method here that will be void create account method. So here we will do all the logics for create account. So I'll call this method from here create account. And for login button text view also we have to set the on-click listener. So we don't have login page right now, so just I will finish this activity. That's it. It will close the activity when we click on login button text view. That's it. So now we will write the logic over here in create account. So when the create account button is clicked, we have to take the email, password and confirm password, and then we have to validate it. So let's add them in the string format. So email equals to from email edit text dot get text dot to string. In the same way, password edit text, confirm password edit text. Now we have to validate all those data. So let's create a method for validating the data over here. After create account, I will create one more method which will return just true and false. So I will set boolean as return type and I will give the name, validate data. I will take all those values. So I will take string email, string password, string confirm password. So in this method we will validate the data. I can write a comment that are input by user. So you can add any validation, like for email we can add that it is correct email or not. So let's validate email first. So for that I will use patterns class, patterns dot email address dot matcher method we have. If this matcher will match with this email, so matcher email dot matches. So it will come inside when it matches, the email ID is correct, it will come inside. So we don't want that. We want if it doesn't matches the pattern, we will set the error that to email edit text dot set error email is invalid. So it will show some error message if the email is invalid. Now we don't want to test anything after this, we can directly return. Once email is invalidated, we can't do anything, so we can return false. Means the validated data will return false. Again we have to test for if email is valid, it will come here. So we will test if password dot length, we will test password dot length is less than 6. So we want password greater than 6, so I will set less than 6. So if it is less than 6, we will set the error to password edit text dot set error password length is invalid. You can write any of the message, again it will return the false. So if email ID matches, password is greater than 6, then we have to test password and confirm password are same or not. So if password dot equals confirm password, if it doesn't equals, means we have to add this. Then we have to set the error message to confirm password edit text set error password not matched and return false. Now if email also matches, password is greater than 6, password also matches, we can return true. That means everything is correct, validated data is returning true. Now we have to call this method from create account button. We will set this to a is validated equals to, call this method validate data, we'll pass email, we'll pass password, we'll pass confirm password. If this value is true, we will go ahead. If this is false, we'll return from here. So now let's run the app and test it is validating or not. So our create account is ready. I will give some wrong email ID like test and I will click on create account. So yes, it is showing email is invalid. Since it is not a valid email, it is showing the error. I will give the correct email ID. Now if I click on create account, it is saying password length is invalid. So I will give the password length as 6 and confirm password I will give different. Now let's see. So password not matched. If I give the correct password, so now no error is there, that means this is validated is true. So here what we can do is, if is validated is false, we can directly return from here. No need to go ahead. If it is true, then we will create the account using Firebase Authentication. So let's create a method for that. Create account in Firebase. We will pass email and password. No need to pass confirm password since it is same only. So after that, let's create a method void create account in Firebase that will take email and a password. So now this will call this method. So as soon as we click on create account button, it will take some time to create the account. So we have to show the progress bar. For that also I will create one more method, void change in progress. So it will take a boolean value in progress. So in this method what we will do is, if in progress is true, then we will set the visibility for progress bar. So progress bar dot set visibility visible and the button should be invisible. So create account button dot set visibility, will set it to gone. In the same way, if it is not in progress, means progress is done, we will do the reverse. Progress bar will be gone, create account button will be visible. So at first, while creating the account in Firebase, we will set change in progress to true. So in progress is started. Now we can create account in Firebase. So to create account in Firebase, we have Firebase Auth class. We have already added the dependency. So we can access that class. That will be Firebase Auth. We'll give the name Firebase Auth and we'll take the instance of Firebase Auth like this. So we have this Firebase Auth. There are different methods inside it to create account and login. So I will use Firebase Auth dot create user with email and password. This is provided by Firebase. Click on it. So it asks for email and password. We already have email and password. So email and password. So it will create the account. But when it will create the account and it is returned successfully or failure, how we will get to know? So we have to add a listener for that. So for that I will add a listener that will be add on complete listener. So here we have add on complete listener. Click on it. And we have to pass a context for this. That will be create account activity dot this. And I will give new on complete listener. So if you click on this and you can put semicolon over here, means once it is completed, we have this callback method on complete. Either it can be successful or it can be failure. That we will test over here. As you can see, we have task over here. We can check with this task. If task is successful, means create account is done. Creating account is done. So what we will do, else if it is failure, what we will do. So first, if create account is done, we will show a message that will be toast message, toast dot make text context, that will be create account activity dot this message will be successfully created account. Since we will send the verification link to the user, so I will say check email to verify, give the length dot sort dot show. So what it will do is it will just show the toast that account is successfully created, check email to verify. Now once account is created, this Firebase auth will return us a user. So this Firebase auth will return us a user. So let's get that current user, Firebase auth dot get current user. Whatever the user is registered in Firebase, it will return that user, but we don't want them to log in right now, so that we will sign out it. Before that, we will send a verification email. So dot send verification email. So this method will send verification email to the current user that is just now created. Spelling is wrong. Now after sending the verification email, we will log out the user, so that once it is verified, then only we will log in. So sign out. Now the email will be sent and user will be signed out. After that, we can close this activity. So I will finish it. Now in failure, what we have to do? In failure, we can show the toast also. I'll copy this and paste it over here. Here we can write, instead of this message, whatever the exception is received, that I will print. So task.getException.get localized message. So it will show the error message that we have got, why the account is not created. That's it. So our create account activity is done. We can successfully create the account. The email will be sent as a verification and we will be signed out, so that we can again log in with that email ID. So to make this authentication work, we have to go to Firebase and enable the authentication. So let's log in the Firebase. We have already created the project. Go to Firebase, get started. Select your project that you have created, that is Notes Pro. From here we have to enable the authentication. So for authentication, go to authentication tab over here, click on get started. So we have to select the sign in method. We are using email password. So click on this email password and click on enable over here. And you can click on save. Now our email password is enabled over here. So now let's test everything. So run the application. A validation we have tested already. So I will directly input the correct email ID. Password I will give test123. Now let's click on create account. It should show successful or the failure message. Let's create it. As you can see, the successful message came and went, and the application is closed because we have written finish over here. We have signed out and finished the activity. So let's check on Firebase either our user is registered or not. Go to users over here. So you can see just now I have registered the user. Now this user cannot be registered again. We can test that also. I will give the same values. If I try to register again with the same email ID, let's click on create account. So that email ID is already in used by another account. So as you can see, after the process is completed, still progress bar is there, since we have not added the change progress bar method over here after completion. So after completion, change progress bar, that will be false, so that it will show the create account button again. Now let's check the email that I have got email or not for the link. So I'll go to Gmail. Since we are testing the Firebase, sometime email doesn't comes in inbox. You should test in spam also. My email is on spam. Just now I have received the verifier email. So I have this link to verify the email address. As soon I will click on this, it will verify the email. Then we can log in with this email ID. I'll click on this. So your email has been verified. You can now sign in with your account. So that's it for this video. We have designed the create account page. We have connected to the Firebase and we have successfully created an account. In next video, we will create the login screen and we will log in with the email ID and password that we have created just now. In last video, we connected our app to the Firebase, and in create account page, we added the validation for email, password and confirm password. We successfully created the account in Firebase Authentication. In this video, we will design the login screen and add functionality for login using Firebase Authentication. So let's get started. So let's go and create a new activity for login activity. Go to the project, right click, new activity, empty activity, give the name login activity and click on finish. So our activity is created. We can go to activity login.xml, click on split over here, and we will design the login screen. So login screen will be similar as create account screen also we have developed in last video. So let's go to that create account XML and I will copy entire code. I'll copy and make the changes. So I'll copy it and paste it over here. So as you can see, create account screen is visible. So first thing we have to do is we have to change the context to login activity. Other things will be similar. This logo we have to change. We have added login.png. So I will replace the source with login. I will change the ID of this login icon, and here also hello text will be same. Instead of let's get started, we will write welcome back. Email also we need, password also we need. We don't need confirm password in login, so we will remove it. So instead of this button that is create account, we will write login and ID will be login button. Progress bar also we needed. So instead of already have an account, we will write don't have an account, and this text will be create account, which will take us to create account page. ID also will change to create account text view button. So that's it, our login page is ready. Since we have created create account page, we are easy to go. So let's go to login activity and create the reference over here. So same like create account also, I will copy all this, paste it over here. So instead of create account button, it will be login button. Instead of login button text view, it will be create account button text view, and confirm password edit text we don't need. So these 5 things we need, and in onCreate method we will link to the ID. So I'll copy that also. So confirm password we don't need. Create account button is login button. ID of login button is login button. Progress bar will be same. Login button text view will be create account text view, and ID will be create account text view button. So you have to double check the ID in XML. If you do mistake, it will not work, it will give some error. That's why you have to check your ID in XML is correct or not. So it is correct. Now we can move on. Now we will set the onClick listener to these buttons. So first button is login button dot set onClick listener. I will use lambda like I used before. One method I will create login user. So this method I will create over here, void login user. And also we will set onClick listener to this text view button. So when user want to create account, he will go to create account. So set onClick listener, lambda. Now here I will write the code for navigating. So I will do start activity, new intent, login activity dot this, from login activity to create account activity dot class. So that's it. With this button we will go to create account page. Now we have to write logic for login user. Before that I will copy one more method from this create account activity. That will be this change in progress, and also we need validate data. I will copy both of the method. Copy this, paste it below this method, and here instead of create account button it will be login button, and in validate data we need 2 things only, email and password. This confirm password we don't need to validate, so we can remove it. That's it. Now we have to write the logic over here. So this also we can refer to create account activity. So email and password, confirm password we are taking, we are validating the data and creating a method for create account. Copy this, paste it over here, remove confirm password, and if it is validated we will log in Firebase. So create one more method, login account in Firebase, which will take email, which will take password. So instead of this method I will call this method. So once email and password is validated, now we will try to log in Firebase. So to log in Firebase we need Firebase Auth. So create an object for Firebase Auth dot get instance, and with this Firebase Auth we can have one method that is sign in with email and password. You can see sign in with email and password, which takes email and password. We already have password. So this will log in our page. but we should know when it is completed or not, it is successful or failure. So we can add on complete listener as we did before, new on complete listener, enter. Here you can put semicolon. So on complete method will be called after completed. So before signing in we will change in progress. So change in progress will be true. So it will show the progress bar, and after complete we will set change in progress to false. So progress is completed. Now here what we will do is we will check task is successful or not. If task is successful, means login is success. That means password and email is correct. Else login failed. So when email and password will be correct, this will come to is successful. But what we want is if email is not verified by the user, we will not make them able to log in. So we will check if task is successful also. If Firebase auth.get current user, whoever logs in, is email verified or not. If login is successful and email is verified, means we can make user login. So go to main activity we will do here, and if email is not verified, we will show some message. So for message showing we were using toast. Here we have to copy paste everything. So instead of that I will create a utility class over here. It is good practice to create a utility class. So I will create one utility. Here we will write static method for showing the toast. Void show toast method. It will take context and the message what you want to show. That's it. So here we will write toast.makeText context message length.sort.show. So this method will help us to show the toast. So I'll go to create account activity also. Instead of this I will do utility.showToast context, and this message I will copy from here, paste it. I can remove this now. So in failure also I will do same, utility.showToast context and the message. I can remove this now. So this showToast method we can use everywhere in the app. So let's go to login activity and showToast over here. Utility.showToast context will pass login activity dot this, and message will be email not verified, please verify your email. That's it. So if email is not verified, we'll show the message. So when login will be failed, if password and email is incorrect or any other things, we will show the message that will be the message written by task exception. So tasks.getException.get localized message. So if login is failed, we will show the message. And when login is successful, we will go to main activity. That means start activity, new intent, login activity dot this, comma main activity dot class. So that's it. We designed the login page and we wrote the logic for login also. Now in splash activity, we will check that if user is logged in already, we will go to main activity. If user is not logged in, we'll go to login activity. So we'll check in this run method after 1 second. So here we will get the user, if user is logged in or not. So we'll create the object of Firebase user. I will give the name current user equals to Firebase auth.getInstance.get current user. So it will return the current user that can be logged in user or the null value if it is not logged in. So we'll check if current user equals to null, that means user is not logged in. We will send the user to login activity. So from here it will go to login activity if user is not logged in. Else if user is logged in, we will take him to main activity. So after that we will close the splash activity. So that's it. Now we can run the app and test everything. Let's run the app. So as you can see, after splash screen we are in the login screen since user is not logged in already. So we'll check create account button. If I click on it, it will take me to create account page. If I click back, it will take me to login page. Now we'll check the validation first. Email I will put anything. Login, email is invalid. So I'll put some correct email. Password length is invalid. I will put correct length password. Since this email is not registered in our app, we are trying to log in with an unregistered user account. Let's see. I'll click on login. It will show the message there is no user record. So that means our validation is also working correctly. So if I put correct email address and the wrong password, if I enter wrong password, it is a password is invalid or the user does not have the password. Now I will put correct password, that is test123. Now if I click login, it should go to main activity. So as you can see, I am in main activity, that is hello world. That means our login application is working correctly. If I click on back, it is taking me to login page, but this should not happen. We can check in login activity. If we go to main activity, we have to finish this login activity. Now since I am already logged in, if I restart the application, it is taking me to main activity since we don't have to log in again and again. So this is working correctly fine. So every time you will go to the app, now it will directly taking me to main activity since we are already logged in. We will add logout button later, then we will check the logout feature also, but login screen is working fine. So in next video, we'll design the add notes screen and we will successfully add the notes to the Firebase. In last video, we designed a beautiful login screen and added validation for email and password. And also we successfully logged in using Firebase Authentication. So in this video, we will design add notes screen and successfully save the note in the Firebase Firestore database. So let's get started. Come to the project and close all this. Let's open main activity XML file and click on split over here. So here we have not designed anything. For now we will add a plus button over here, and with that plus button we will go to add note activity. So let's design that. First thing I will do is make it a relative layout. Remove this hello world, and relative layout we will give the background that will be my primary. So it will be our background. Now I will add a plus button over here. So for that I will take a vector asset. I need a plus icon. So in drawable I will add a vector asset. So for that go to drawable, right click, new vector asset, click on it, click on the clip art over here. So once the icon are loaded, search for add icon. This plus sign I will take. So I will click on this, okay, and click on next, finish. So as you can see, the icon is added over here. Now we will add a floating action button over here using material. So I will add floating action button. So first one I will add floating action button. Width will be wrap content, height will be wrap content, and it is showing over here. So I will change the color of this using tint. Background tint will be white. So it is white color. We want this to be here. So align parent end will be true. Align parent bottom will be true. I'll add that image as a source, add icon. Now I'll add some padding to overall layout that will be about 16 dp and give a ID to this floating action button. It will be add note button. That's it. Later we will add recycler view here for displaying all the notes, but for now we will make this on click and go to add notes activity. So let's go to main activity, create that floating action button, add note button. In on create a reference r.id.add note button. So on click of this button we will go to add notes screen, but we have not designed that yet. Let's go and create new activity that will be new activity, empty activity. I will give the name note details activity. So all the note details will be there. Note details activity, finished. So in main activity, from here start activity, new intent, main activity dot this to note details activity dot class. That's it. With plus button we will go to note details activity. Let's run and test how it is looking. So as you can see, our background is correct, and when I click on plus button over here, it will take me to this notes detail activity that is empty for now. So let's design this note details activity. You can close this main activity. In this activity we will design a page title, save button, and the notes title and the notes content. That's it. We'll do that for now. So let's make it relative layout. Background will be my primary and padding will be 16 dp. So let's design it. First thing I will add is text and a button. So for that I will use relative layout. Width will be match parent, height will be wrap content. Inside that relative layout I will add the title. So text view, wrap content, ID will be page title, text will be add new note, text size will increase to 32 sp, and text color will be white, and we'll bold it. Text style bold, and I will add one icon over here that will be vector asset. So go to drawable, new vector asset, click on clip art. This will be save icon, so I will put this done icon, click on it, okay, next, finish. So for that I will use a image button. Width will be 36 dp, height will be also 36 dp. ID we will give save note button. Here it is displayed. Source I will give done icon. So as you can see here it is displayed. I will move it to end. So align parent end will be true and it should be center. So center vertical will be also true. So we'll remove this background also. For that we will use a selectable item background borderless. So background will be at selectable item background borderless. So as you can see border is gone. We can change the tint to white. So it is saying we have to use app tint instead of Android tint. So I will use app tint. So this is done. Now we will design edit text for title and the content below this relative layout. So I will give the ID to this relative layout. That will be our title bar layout. This is our title bar, and below this relative layout I will create a linear layout so that I can add vertically. Linear layout, width will be match parent, height will be wrap content. Inside this linear layout it will be below our title bar. Orientation will be vertical. Padding we will give about 16 dp. Margin vertical about 26 dp. We'll set a background tint so that it will be white color, and also the background for this will be rounded corner. We have created that, so rounded corner, so it will look like this. Now let's add edit text for the input. So first edit text will be for title. Width will be match parent, height will be wrap content. ID will be notes title text. Hint we will give title. Text size I will increase to 20 sp. Style I will set bold for title. Text style bold. I will give some margin vertical 8 dp, so it will have some gap. Padding will be 12 dp and text color will be black. That's it. We have designed our title edit text. Now I'll copy this, paste it below that edit text. It will be our content text. Hint will be content. Content will be bigger, so I will give the minimum lines about 15. So it will have minimum lines. This content I want to be here, so gravity will be top. I will remove the bold, and that's it. We have designed the title and content. So we have successfully designed our add new note screen. Let's run it and test it. So main activity, click on add. This is our add new note act. Here we can add any title. Here we can add any content, and we can click on save to save the note. So let's go to note detail activity and write the logic. So first create an object for those things. To edit text we have title edit text and content edit text. We have two edit text and one button, that is image button. Save note button. We will link the ID over here. Find view by ID r.id.notes title text. In the same way for content edit text, notes content text, and for save note button it will be save note button. Now we will set on click listener on the save note button. So save note button dot set on click listener. I'll use lambda, which will call a function that will be save note. So I'll make a function that will be void save note, and I will call this method from here. Now we'll do the save note logic over here. First thing we will get is note title in string note title. From title edit text dot get text dot to string. We have done this thing in create account and login. You can do same. So note content will be content edit text dot get text dot to string. Two things only we have. So we will validate this data. We can validate in different method also, but I will validate here only since I am validating only the title. So title should not be null. So if note title equal to null, or note title dot is empty, means if it is equal to null or it is empty, we will set the error to title edit text. So set error, that will be title is required, and we will directly return from here. We don't have to go ahead because title is not there. So I will only validate the title. You can validate content also after this. So I'm doing this because content can be empty. So that's it for this video. In next video we will add the functionality to add the notes to the Firebase database. Last video we designed the screen for the add notes activity where we have added title and content and also the validation. So in this video we will add the functionality to add the notes to the Firebase database successfully. So let's get started. Now we have to save the note to Firebase. So to save the note to Firebase, first thing is we have to go to Firebase and click on Firebase Firestore database. So click on this Firestore database. We have to create a Firestore database before adding any data. So let's click on it. So we are on test mode, so I will go to start in test mode, click on next. You can set any location, click on enable. So as you can see, we have successfully created a database. So here it is written your database is ready to go, just add data. So that's it, we can now add the data. Now we have to add the dependency for Firestore. So for that, go to tools, Firebase, here select Cloud Firestore over here, get start with Cloud Firestore, add the Cloud Firestore SDK to your app, click on it, accept changes. It will add the dependency. Now our dependency are added, so you can close this. Now we can add the nodes. So before adding the nodes, we have node title and node content. You can directly use the map and add to the database, but I will recommend to use a model class. So let's create a model class for node, then we can add with that model class. So go to our project, new Java class, that will be node. This will be our nodes model, so it will be node class. So here we will add whatever the data is needed. So first thing is we need a title. So string title, string content. One more thing we will add is time, when this node is created. So I will use timestamp. This class is from Firebase. It will be timestamp. So these three things we will add to the node. For that we have to create a getter and setter first and then constructor. So right click, generate constructor. Don't select anything, you can create an empty constructor, and also right click, generate getter and setter, select everything, click on OK. We have created the model class. We can close this now. Now after validation, we will add this to model class. So let's create that model class, node equals to new node. So node dot set title will be node title, node dot set content will be node content, node dot set timestamp will be, so we will put the whatever the time is now. So for that, timestamp dot now. That's it, we have created the node model class. Now we can add this node to the Firebase. So for that I will create a method. After this will be void save node to Firebase, which will take the node as an node. It will take the node model class and it will save. So we'll call this method from here, save node to Firebase, that node we have just created. So to save node to the Firestore, you should have some collection. Directly we cannot save over here, so we should not create a single collection to add all the nodes. We will create one collection of nodes. So inside collection of node we will have all the documents. So documents will have some ID, that will be user ID. So each user have different collection. Your nodes will have your collection, another person nodes will have another collection. So inside that we will create a my nodes as a collection. Inside that collection we will add all the nodes. So let's do that in the code. I will create a method in utility that will return a collection reference where we want to save the node. So this will return a collection reference. I will give the method name collection reference for nodes. So first thing we need is user ID. So for each user we should have user ID. So for that, Firebase user current user equals to Firebase auth dot get instance dot get current user. We have done this in login also. So we have current user, and with this current user ID we will save to the database. So we'll made a Firebase Firestore dot get instance dot collection. This collection will be nodes collection. Inside that we will have a document that will be unique to each. So this document will have the use current user dot get UID. So inside nodes collection we have this document that is unique for each ID, and inside that we will create one more collection that will be my nodes. So inside nodes collection we have unique ID, and inside that we have my nodes collection where all nodes will be there. So we'll return this collection reference from here. So now go to nodes detail activity in Firebase method. So we have to save the node. So where we have to set the node? In that collection as a document. This node is also a document. So we will write document reference, which will be document reference, and this document reference we will get from that collection reference. Utility dot get collection reference for node dot document. So inside that my nodes collection we will create one document that will be our node. So in this document reference dot set, we have a set method which will set the data. So set data will be our node. So this will add the node to the database. Directly it will add the node, but we have to know it is completed or failure or whatever. So like the same way we will add on complete listener new on complete listener, put semicolon over here. So on complete we will check as always if task is successful. If it is successful means notes is added, else note is not added. So in note added we will show a message to the user that utility.showToast note detail activity.this message will be note added successfully, and we will finish this activity. So once note is added, it will close this activity and get back to main activity. Now if it is not added, I will copy this message and I will write failed while adding notes. If it fails, then we will show some message. So that's it. This will add the note to the Firebase and we can see that. So let's run it and test it, how we will run it. So I am on main activity, add notes. First I will not put any title. Let's click on OK. So it is saying title is required. I'll give the title my first note. Content I will give testing my first note in Android app. So let's click on OK and see what message it displays. So note added successfully. So we have this message and activity is also closed. So let's check in the Firebase either it is added or not. Let's go to Firebase. You can reload this page. So as you can see, our notes is added. So as I have mentioned, it will create a notes collection first. Inside that it will have a document that is unique to our ID. This is our ID that you can check on authentication also. This is our unique ID. If another user add, it will come below here. It will add list of document for all individual user. So inside this we have my notes collection. I have created that collection. Inside my notes we should have the document. So as you can see on the code, first we have notes collection, UID as document, my notes collection, and then we have one more document that will be note document. This is our note document. So this is our note ID. I'll click on this. As you can see, here is my content, here is the timestamp, here is the title. So we have successfully added the note to our database. So if I add second note also, it will add my note to my notes collection. If new user added, it add new document to this notes, and then he has also my notes collection. So that's it for this video. In next video we'll design the main activity where we will add recycler view to display all the notes available in the Firestore database. In last video we designed our add notes screen and successfully saved the notes in Firebase Firestore. In this video we will design the recycler view to display all the notes that are added in the Firebase Firestore database. So let's get started. So in last video we have added one note having this title, timestamp and content. So we'll get all the list of notes and display in the recycler view. Let's go in the project. Let's close this. Open activity main.xml and main activity. So in activity main.xml first we will add the title bar and then we will add the recycler view. Title bar we can copy from notes detail. Same title bar we will use. I will copy this relative layout and paste it over here. So instead of add new note, it will be notes. Instead of this icon, we will use another icon that will be menu icon. So we can add logout button over there. So I will use a vector asset. Go to drawable, new, vector asset, clip art. I will use the menu. This one I will use. Okay, finish. So instead of this source, I will change it to menu. It will look like this. And also ID I will change. It will be menu button. That's it. So our title bar is designed. Below this I will add a recycler view. So we will add recycler view. Width will be match parent. Height will be match parent. ID I will give recycler view. And it will be below our title bar layout. So it will come here. So that's it. We have added the recycler view. We are done with the main activity. So we can go to main activity.java and create the reference. So recycler view, menu button, that is our image button, menu button. So let's assign the ID. So after this add node button, I will assign for recycler view r.id.recycler view, menu button, r.id.menu button. So we have assigned the id. Now we have to add on click listener on menu button. So menu button dot set on click listener, lambda I will use, which will call a method show menu. We have not created show menu. I will create over here void show menu. So it will display the menu, will display the logout button in the menu, and we have to implement the logout button. So for now I will not do that. Now we will set up the recycler view. So let's create a method for setting up recycler view. Here I will call setup recycler view and create a method void setup recycler view. So here we will get the data from the Firebase and display in the recycler view. So if you don't know how to use recycler view, I have one dedicated video in my channel. You can check that video for full explanation. So in this video also I will explain all those things. So first thing we need is item view. For each item in the recycler view, we have to show some view that will be text or any custom layout. So that will be a single item view, single nodes will be there. So we will create the item view first. So let's go to layout, new layout resource file, create a recycler note item, root element I will choose linear layout and click on OK. So click on split. Here we will design a single item view where single note will be displayed. So what we will do is height we don't need full of the parent, so height we will wrap content, whatever the note height will be displayed, so it will be custom height. Inside this linear layout we will add text view. So first text view will be for title, so width will be match parent, height will be wrap content, text will be like note title, this will be the note title, text color let's say black, text size will be 18 sp and margin vertical we will give 4 dp. So this will be our note title. We will also show the content, so I will copy this. Below this I will show the content, but it will be less size, that will be 17 sp. Color I don't want black, I want some grayish color, so this will be note, this can be note content, that can be long. Since this can be long, I will give the max lines, that will be 2. It will not be more than max lines. If it is more than 2 lines, it will give some ellipses at the end, so ellipse size end. So for content also done, we have added timestamp in the note, so I will show the time also. For that another text view I will use. Below this text color I will remove it, size will be 12 sp. I want to show it on right, so gravity will be right. So this is our layout. We should give id for each text view. So first text view will be note title text view. I'll copy this. Note content text view, here note timestamp text view. So we have designed our recycler with single item. It will come in main activity. It can be multiple numbers also. Let's close this. Now after creating the view, we have to create the adapter. So for recycler view, we need one view and one adapter. So let's create an adapter class, new. We will give it note adapter. In this class we need one more class, that will be note view holder. We need a note view holder which will hold the view for this recycler note item. So it will be inherited from recycler view dot view holder. View holder. So here we have to create a constructor, create constructor, and here we can assign the IDs. So we have 3 text view. One is title text view, content text view, and timestamp text view. So we have to assign the ID like we do on create method. So title text view equals to item view dot find view id r dot id dot note title text view. Same for content and timestamp. Content note content text view and timestamp text view will be note timestamp text view. So our note view holder is ready. We can put this down. So to use Firebase data as a recycler view, we need this note adapter to be inherited from Firestore recycler adapter. So we need Firestore recycler adapter, that is Firebase UI component. So we have to add the dependency for that. So let's go to Google. So in Google search for Firebase UI dependency. Click on this link and you can copy the dependency from here. So we need for Firestore, I will copy this. I'll provide it in description also, you can copy from there. Go to our project, Gradle, build.gradle from app module and paste over here. Now click on sync now. It will add the dependency. So once our dependency added, we can close this. Now we have to inherit that class. So extends Firestore recycler adapter, as you can see class over here. Inside this we need to provide two things, that one is note and another is note view holder. So first is note, another is note view holder. So it will take this. Now there is some error because we have to implement some method. Click on implement method. It will implement two methods. Click on OK. Also it is showing to create a constructor. You can click on it, create constructor. Remove the comments for now. We have this constructor. In constructor we are taking option. Also we will take context so that we can perform on click also. So I will receive context from here and assign this context. This dot context equals to context. So from wherever we are calling this, we will provide context. So now comes part on create view holder. In on create view holder, we have to pass the view that we have just created, that is recycler note item. So for that I will create a view layout inflator dot from, that will be from view group, that is parent dot get context, and we will inflate. Layout name is r dot layout dot recycler note item, and we will pass view group also, and one attached to root, that will be false. So we have created a view from this recycler note item, and we will return this as a note view holder. So it will create the object of this and return the view. So in this way it will create the view holder. Now on bind view holder, if we have data, that is note, we have note, that is each individual note. In that we have title, content and timestamp. According to that we will set it to title text view, content text view, timestamp text view. So I'll name this as note, and here I will do is holder dot title text view dot set text. It will be note dot title. In the same way, holder dot this content text view will contain note dot content. Timestamp text view will contain note dot timestamp. So this will be on date format, so we have to convert it to string. So in utility class I will create one method that will convert timestamp to string. So I will name the method timestamp to string. It will take timestamp and it will convert into string. We will use date format, so simple date format. In this pattern I will write month, day, and year, dot format timestamp dot toDate. So this method will format our date and we will return this formatted date. Now from here I will call that method, that will be utility dot timestamp to string. We have to pass the timestamp, that is note dot timestamp. So in this way we have setted the view. So now our note adapter is completed. Let's go to main activity and set up the recycler view. So in main activity, first thing we will query the database. So for that we have query class from Firestore, query equals to, so we have to get the collection reference. If you remember, in utility we have this collection reference method where we were storing notes. Now getting the notes also we need that collection reference. So utility dot get collection reference for notes. So we have collection reference for note, but we will order by timestamp. So order by, that will be timestamp, and the order will be query dot direction dot descending, so that the latest data will come at first. Now by this query we will create options. So Firestore recycler option, which will be note type options equals to new Firestore recycler option. We will create the object of recycler option with the help of builder. So click on this, type will be note. We'll set the query for this that we have just created. So set query, which asks for a query and the class. So query will be query, class will be node.class.build. So this will return the recycler options from the query with node. Now we have to set recycler view dot set layout manager. We'll set new linear layout manager and pass the context. Now we have created the note adapter, so we have to create object of it, note adapter, and here we will create note adapter equals to new note adapter. First parameter is option, as you remember the constructor. Second parameter is context, that will be this. And finally with recycler view we will set the adapter, that will be our note adapter. So in this way we are done with the recycler view. First we query the database with the timestamp, then converted the query into options. This option we passed in notes adapter, and in notes adapter we are setting data to the text views. So let's run it and test it, either it is coming or not. Our application is running, but I can't see any note. We have some problem. Since we have set the adapter to recycler view, on start of the page we have to listen to that adapter. So we have to override the onStart method. So after this we will override the onStart method. On start, here we will start listening, so note adapter dot start listening. Second method will be on stop, we have to stop listening, so note adapter dot stop listening. Third method will be on resume, so on resume we will, once we go to the add note page and add the note, when we come back the note should be updated. So adapter dot notify data set changed. So these three methods you have to override. Let's run now. So as you can see my note is visible. This is my first note, this is title, this is content, and this is timestamp. It is displaying correctly. Let's add the second note and see it is updated or not. I will click on plus. This will be second note, content will be added recycler view. Let's see it updates new note or not. I'll click on save. So as you can see my second note is updated immediately. Since we have arranged it in descending, the latest note will be at top, but design is not looking good. Let's change the design for item view. Go to recycler note item and let's add some background. So for this whole linear layout what I will do is I will add some padding about 12 dp. I will add margin vertical about 8 dp, and background tint I will set it to white, and background will be rounded corner, so that rounded corner will be visible. Since we have my primary in the background, it should be visible nicely white color. So let's run it and test it. So now it is looking very nice. We have added two nodes, we have added the rounded corners also. It is looking great. You can add any number of data now, it will automatically update. So that's all for this video. In next video we will set on-click listener to this item. By clicking it, it will go to node details activity, and there we can view or edit or delete the node. So in last video we designed the recycler view to display all the nodes that are added in the Firebase Firestore database. In this video we will set on-click listener to each nodes item and navigate to nodes detail screen so that we can view, edit or delete the node. So let's get started. So you can close all this, and first thing we will go to note adapter, and on bind view holder we will set the on-click listener. We have to pass some things. So on-click listener we have to set, that will be holder dot item view dot set on-click listener. You can use lambda. So from here we will navigate to nodes detail activity. So you can create a different activity for viewing the nodes, but I have this screen where we have this add new node. I'll use same activity for viewing, editing and deleting the node. So I'll make some changes and use the same activity. So from here we will go to this activity, that will be intent. Let's create an intent, new intent. From here we need context, and we will go to node details activity dot class. So when we click on item view, it will go to node detail activity, but which node we are clicking? So each node have unique ID, so we have to pass unique ID, we have to pass title, we have to pass the content also. So three things we will pass from here to that activity. So intent dot put extra. First let's pass title, that will be node dot title. Second thing we'll add content, note dot content. Third thing will be ID, so that I will write doc ID. So in note we don't have doc ID, we have to get the doc ID from snapshot. So before this I will get the doc ID from this dot get snapshots dot get snapshot. From list of snapshot we will get this snapshot for this position, so whatever the note is clicked, and from this we will get the ID, that will be get ID. So this doc ID will be unique for each note. So here I will pass doc ID. So these three things we need in intent. Now we can start the activity. Context dot start activity, we can pass intent. So from note adapter we are done. We can click that and we can go to that activity. I will run it and test it. So I will test by clicking on any of the note. I will click on this. So it took me to add new note page. That is our note detail activity. If I click on this also, it is taking to this. We have not received the title content over here. We have not setted it. We have to make change to this activity. If doc ID, content and title is coming from that page, we can change the title as edit your note, and we can have title, content that are already there. So let's make those changes. So you can close this and go to note details activity. Here we will receive all those. Pen activity note details. So we have to change this text view, that is add new note. So we have to link this text view. We have the ID, that is page title. We can go here and create a text view, that will be page title text view. We can link the ID, find view by ID, r.id.page title. So we have passed three things from there. We will receive those here. So string, title, content and doc ID. So these three things we will receive from that page. So after this we will receive data. Here what we will do is title equals to receive data from intent, we have to do get intent dot get string extra. The name will be title, whatever we have given there. In the same way, content doc ID, name will be content doc ID. Now we have title, content and doc ID. We can set title to this edit text and we can set content to this edit text. So for that we can do title edit text dot set text title, content edit text dot set text content. Doc ID we are not displaying, so I will not set text to that. And we have to change this title. Page title should be add new note or not. So page title should be edit your note. So we have to add a condition, because we can go from this plus button also, we can go from here also. So from here if we go, we have doc ID. From here if we go, we don't have any doc ID, title and content. So we can make a boolean value over here, is edit mode. It will be by default false. If we receive doc ID, then we can make is edit mode as true. So here what we can do is, if doc ID is not equal to null and doc ID dot is empty is not empty, is not, we have to put it here, so that if it is not null and it is not empty, then that means is edit mode equal to true. That means we are in edit mode. That means we came from here, not from plus icon. If we go from plus icon, edit mode will be false. So here what we can do is, if is edit mode, we can set the title, page title dot set text edit your note. So in this way, if you come from there, it will show edit note. Let's run it and test it. So first thing, if I go from here, as you can see, we have edit your note, the title and the content. I click on back here, title, content, edit your note. But if I click on plus over here, title is empty, content is empty and add new note is visible. So our logic is working fine. Now if you save this after editing, it will save as a new one, because we have not provided in save note to Firebase, we have not provided the document reference that we have got. So it will save as a new. So how we can solve that? We can go to save note to Firebase. Here document reference we are getting from here. If this is not edit mode, if this is edit mode, then we will do something else. We will do this. So whatever we were doing, it was not for edit mode, so we will do this. If it is edit mode, we will pass the document ID. This document will pass the ID that we have doc ID. So it will update the, means if it is edit mode, it will update the note. If it is not edit mode, it will create a new note. Let's run it and test the edit functionality. I will click on first note. I will change the title as edited. I will click on this. So as you can see, my first note is edited. So since we have modified the note, it has got the new timestamp and it has come at first. So we can add new note from here and we can edit or view note from here. So that's it for this video. In next video we will add the delete button in the edit note screen, and we will delete the note using that delete button. We will add functionality for the delete note, and also we will add logout option in the menu so that we can log out from the application. In last video we have added the functionality for on click of the note. In on click we are going to edit or we are going to view the notes. In this video we are going to add delete button so that we can delete the note, and also we will add the logout option in the menu so that we can log out from the application. So let's get started. In activity note details I will add a delete button below this. That will be just a text view. Width will be match parent, height will be wrap content, text will be delete note. I will set it to parent bottom true. It will come here. I will center the gravity. I'll change the text color to some red color, so delete will be red color. Text size I will give 18 sp. ID I will give delete note text view button. This will act as a button, but this should not be visible when we add new note. When we are on edit mode this should be visible. When we are not in edit mode this should not be visible. So for that I will add visibility will be gone by default. It will not display. Now let's go to note details activity. Create a text view. Delete note text view button. Assign the ID. Delete note text view button. So if it is edit mode this should be visible. So what I will do is, if edit mode is true, here we are showing edit your note. In this if condition I will set delete note text button dot set visibility will be visible. So if edit mode is there it will be visible. Now we have to set on click listener to this. So delete note text view button dot set on click listener. I will put lambda. I will create a method delete note from Firebase. So I will create this method below here, delete note from Firebase. So this will delete our note from the Firebase. So same thing we can copy from this save note to Firebase. I will copy all this. I'll paste it over here. We don't need this edit mode because it will visible only on edit mode. We need this document reference with document ID. Only thing we have to change is, instead of document reference dot set note we have to do document reference dot delete. So on complete listener will be there. In successful note is deleted. We can show the message note deleted successfully. Here failed while deleting the note. That's it. Now we can run it and test it. So first I will add a new note and we will delete it. So new note. This is new note I want to delete. Click on save. It's saved. I'll click on this. Edit your note. I can click on delete note. So note deleted successfully. Here also note is deleted. So yes, it is working completely fine. So we have done the adding of notes, viewing of notes, deleting of notes, editing the notes, everything we have done. Now one thing is remaining, that is logout button. When we click on this we have to show the menu, and on click of that we have to log out from the app. So let's go to main activity. We have created a method for show menu. I will write a pop-up menu over here. So for displaying the menu you have to do, remove this comment, pop-up menu, give the name pop-up menu, create an object of it. You have to pass the context and the menu button which we want to use, that is menu button. So pop-up menu dot get menu dot add. We can add any number of menu. I will add only one for now, that will be our logout, and we will show that pop-up menu on click of that menu button. So it will show the pop-up menu. Now on click listener of that logout button we will log out from the app. So pop-up menu dot set on menu item click listener, new on menu item click listener. So on menu item click we should perform some task and return the true or false. So what task we will perform? First we will check if logout is being clicked. So menu item dot get title equals to logout. If we click on logout we have to go to login activity again. So from main activity we will go to login activity and finish this activity. So first thing we have to log out using Firebase auth dot get instance dot sign out. We have method sign out. This will sign out from our app, and we will go to login activity. So new intent main activity dot this comma login activity dot class. Now we can finish this activity before going, and then we will return true. That's it. So our login button should also work. Let's run it. So I'll click on this. We can see the logout menu, one menu we have added. If I click on logout, it should log out and take me to login screen. Let's click on it. So as you can see, I am logged out. If you restart the app also, you will on the login screen until and unless you will log in. So I can log in now. Test 1 2 3. I'll click on login. So I am logged in. So logout button is also working perfectly fine. So that's all for this video. In next video we will change this default icon to our launcher icon. That will be our personal icon. I have one icon that I will use as a launcher icon for our notes application, and also we will generate our signed APK so that we can share it with our friends. We have developed the notes application. We are listing the notes. We can add the notes from here. We can edit the notes from here. We can delete the note. We can log out from here. We have the login screen and we have create account screen also. So in this video we will change this launcher icon, that is the default provided by Android. We'll change it to our personal icon. I have this icon. You can use any of your icon. I will use this icon as my launcher icon, and then we will generate the signed APK so that we can share it with our friends. So let's change the image first. You can close all this. You can minimize this layout values. I will expand this. So let's go to manifest first and check where we are giving the launcher icon. So here we can see IC launcher from mipmap folder and IC launcher round from mipmap folder. So let's expand this mipmap folder. We have this launcher icons all over here and also launcher icon all over here. So we want our own launcher icon, so we will replace it by going to resource, new, image asset. You have to select image asset. This is our default icon. The name is IC launcher. You can change the image from path over here. Click on this. Go to desktop. I have my notes app icon on desktop. I will select this. Click on OK. It is being displayed over here. I can adjust this. So this much is okay for me. I will click on next. So it will replace all this. Click on finish. So if you open IC launcher, you have this PNG icon. We already had this web. We should delete this WebP. This is the default launcher icons. So I will delete all these WebP files. Delete. Okay. From here, from launcher round also I will delete all WebP files. Delete. Okay. So now we are done. If we run the app, let's see the launcher icon changes or not. So our app is launched. As you can see, our icon is changed. So this is my new icon. This is my personal icon. So in this way you can change the launcher icon. Now we will create the signed APK. So go to build, generate signed APK or bundle. So for uploading to Play Store, you should always use Android app bundle. You can use APK also, but you should use app bundle. So for installing on the device, you can create the APK. So first we will create the APK. Click on next. Here we have to create a key store. If you are building the APK for the first time, you should create a new key store. If you are updating the app, if you are creating new version of app, you have to choose the existing. I will create new key store path. I'll give to desktop. I'll select desktop and file name will be notes app key store. So this will be JKS file. Click on OK. You have to give the password and remember the password, because if you are creating new version of the APK, you need the same password. So I'll give test123 for now. Alias you can give key0, password test123. You can select the validity years. I will select 100 years. Here you have to create the certificate, so you can give the first name and last name. I will give easy Tuto. You can fill all of these. I will not fill for now. You should fill all of this and click on OK. So we have this notes app key store. You can remember the password and click on next. Since we will only share this to our devices, we will select debug mode, click on finish. It will take some time to generate the APK. So as you can see, our APK is generated successfully. Locate. It will open this. Now we can install this APK. So I will uninstall the existing app and I will install this app. Install. So as you can see, my app is installed. Let's log in. So we are logged in, my notes are visible. So in this way now you can share this APK to your friends so that they can install it and use this application. Now we'll generate the bundle so that we can upload it to Play Store. Go on build, generate signed bundle APK, click on Android app bundle, next. If you are doing it first time, create new, otherwise choose the existing. I will choose the existing, this is already existed. So I'll click on next. You can select release mode and click on finish. Now that's come to our end of the series. In this series we have developed a fully fledged working notes application with the help of Firebase database. In this series we learned a lot of things. We created the splash screen, login screen, create account screen, we designed the recycler view for the notes, we designed add note screen, we designed edit note screen, and we have learned a lot. So if you enjoyed this series, please like the video. If you have any doubts and queries also, you can comment, I will reply for you. Don't forget to click on subscribe button before going. See you in the next video. Bye bye.